Welcome, brothers and sisters, to Hump Day Healing with your girl, Smartsistah. And today I'm going to talk a little bit more about psychological problems, issues that we face, but in terms of intergenerational trauma. Now, this whole series is going to be about intergenerational trauma and what impact it has had on Black people. And as I said last week, many of us are in denial. We think, y'all got to quit talking about that slavery shit. Ain't nobody tripping. Blah, 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 blah. Well, the person saying something like that pretty much is more affected than they will ever know, and there is no way possible we could have come through chattel slavery without being affected. Now, I know this sister, Dr. Joy DeGruy, I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name, but she did a whole book on post-traumatic slave syndrome, basically where she psychologically looked at the effects it had had on us as a people. And one example she does in one of her speeches that really makes it plain. She said, now, if I took a cute little puppy and put it up here on the stage with me, and we were playing with it and thought it was cute, and then all of a sudden I threw it down on the ground and stomped it to death, most of you all in this room will probably need therapy. You need to go see someone after seeing a traumatic event like that. Now, if that is the case, what do you think centuries, and I'm talking about centuries of abuse and degradation that we suffered as a people? Now, you already know, and we have talked about it ad nauseum. But that's okay, because we need to still talk about it, because the one main thing, as I've said before, the reason why I believe Black people cannot unite on the level that we should is just because of the psychological trauma like that. The fact that Black women lost their children, or they were sold away, or they were killed, that we were raped, we were sodomized, we were anything imaginable sexually, as well as not being able to love and care for our children for their lives, for their entire lives, because they were sold away from us. Same thing, Black men were breeders, which some of them still are. You were used for your penis and for your physical strength, and everything about you was about physicality and nothing with your brain. So the brothers that used their brain and did what they had to do oftentimes were killed. And even till today, it's the strong Black men, the Black men that stand up for their community, the Black men that fight for their community, that are often killed. Okay, so we are suffering from this trauma that we don't want to admit. Many of us don't want to admit it, because then if you admit it, then you have to deal with all the aftermath. You have to deal with what it has truly done to you. You have to deal with what white people did to you. And many of us don't want to do that, because if we admit that, then we have to admit everything they do. So then therefore, that's why you have all these bootlicks and coons that just put that out of their brain and let that go, because that was the past, and now we have to do this, that, and a third. Okay, that's the problem. So that is basically what intergenerational trauma is, for the most part. And today I wanted to talk about what are some of the symptoms. What are the problems that we've endured, or that we continue to have in our own personalities, in our families, in our communities, that's keeping us separated? Because we've done everything else. We've marched, we've slid in, fell in, slept in, did whatever, fought, marched, keep voting for Democrats, whatever. We've done it trying to unite as a community and trying to make things better in our community. But as we see, little has changed, and we still do not unite on the level we need to truly pool our resources, pool our money, pool everything together. And this trauma is the main thing that we've got to heal from. And this is a healing. This is a mental, physical, emotional healing that we need to face and do. So then therefore you can move ego out the way. You can move petty ass jealousies, stupid decisions that people make based on the wrong thing. That if you could heal from that, then you have the tools to make the decisions properly that you need to make in your own life, in your family's life, in your community life, for us to move forward. So y'all know I gotta put my eyeballs on in order to read this. So let's see here. Examples of trauma symptoms include, but are not limited to, depression, fixation on trauma, low self-esteem, anger, self-destructive behaviors. Let's see what else. Also, oftentimes it does not depend on just that, because as I told y'all before, we've got to not only deal with this intergenerational trauma, we also have to deal with just what life has in store for you anyway. Okay, so not only are we dealing with that, we have to deal with just life in general. So, and it's just exacerbated by these symptoms that we go through. As I said before, it can be depersonalization, isolation, memory loss, nightmares, psychic numbing, hypervigilance, substance abuse, identification with death, and unresolved grief. Now, that's just a few. Now, can you imagine? I think all of us either have experienced some of these things in our own lives, or we can see it in our families. And that's why a lot of our families have put the fun in dysfunction, because you have various members, be it your parents, be it other family members, that have suffered from a lot of these disorders, which impacts the entire family. Okay, here are some other main things that I think will help to explain some of the reasons why we've had the issues that we've had as a people. A lack of trust of others. Can I get an amen? Anger. Irritability. Nightmares. Fearfulness. Inability to connect with others. And these few, I think right here, hit us so hard it's not even funny. Lack of trust of others. That, to me, is one of the main things that has kept us from each other. When we were taught not to trust each other back in slavery, and it has moved on to modern day times, if you don't trust someone, be it in your personal relationships, be it with your family, be it with other black people, why do you think we can't get anywhere? Because we don't trust each other. That's one of the main issues. Now, you will trust this devil that has kept you oppressed for centuries. Centuries now. Let's just think about this thing. Centuries. You don't have a problem with that. You know, the white man's ice is colder. Whatever. We automatically, just catch yourself sometime. As conscious as I think I am, and what I have to do, I have to catch myself often to undo that thinking. Because you automatically, oh, what did the black dude do? Oh, what did that black girl's fast ass say? Oh, what, you see what I'm saying? We automatically, boom, think something negative about our own people, even though it's you too. You put that to the side, but you got automatic, why somebody black can't do something, why somebody black is inferior, why somebody black is this, that, and the other. You have to constantly, some of us do, fight those thought patterns and that thing, because until, you know, I'm do like what an old boyfriend told me, trust me till I mess up. Okay, that's what I do. Okay, I will go ahead and trust you till you mess up. Then I can deal with you as a black person. Then I can tell you that your customer service as your business is not up to par. We should be able to talk to each other. And if I'm saying it out of love for you, then you should be able to take that and build on it and improve your business, rather than, oh, see, y'all Negroes always got something to say. See how we do sometimes? How we just take stuff out of focus and dwell on the negative, when you should be able to take constructive criticism and you should be able to give it constructively. It's a two-way street. Now, a white man, you can go in his store or his establishment or the department store or whatever, they can dog your ass out, follow you around the store, treat you like shit, and you right there that next week buying something on sale. See, that's some dysfunctional thinking that you got to get rid of. And all of that all the time boils down to us not trusting nothing black. And you need to really stop and ask yourself what the hell is going on with you. That you can, this man that has killed you, raped you, threw you in the trash, and you will believe what they say every time. Don't even question. A lot of times won't even question what they're saying. Look at us with how we doing right about now with this Biden thing. Here this man that lied to you straight to your face, been in Congress 40 years, ain't done nothing for you, but you can keep believing that he's gonna do what he says no matter what. No matter what. And it's right in your face. Right in your face. People, this is something we've got to deal with. The lack of trust, the lack of belief in yourself. Are you serious? And like I said, we all guilty of it. We all guilty of it in some way, shape, or form. If we've been guilty of it and we're really trying to break ourselves from this thinking and move forward, wonderful. But admit the fact that it's there. And I don't care how Hotepian you may be. Okay, you still doing the same thing in a lot of ways. When I see a lot of these brothers, and it's mostly brothers, and I don't want to hear, somebody said something on my one of my rants I had about when I was talking about Tariq Nasheed and Umar Johnson, when I said that black women get it done. Well, y'all don't need, you don't need to start with that. See? First of all, I don't say stuff that I can't back up. Now, y'all ought to know me better than that by now. Okay? The fact of the matter is, when Mary McLeod Bethune wanted to start a college, she baked sweet potato pies and made enough money to open a college. She wasn't, and though they didn't have crowdfunding back then, but she wasn't out there begging. She baked them pies till she got enough money to open her school. That's what I meant by when I said sisters just go get it done. They don't sit around and wait and hope and, you know, pray and say shit 3 times. Okay? Y'all already know. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to take nothing away from some brothers, because it's brothers that have been successful starting their stuff too. I just took that to mean, once again, you know, we always want to, look for certain things. And back to the trust issue. Now, a lot of y'all trust these two brothers, which is wonderful. I'm glad you do. However, if they do something, then you lose the trust. Then ain't nobody else black got a chance. Ain't nobody else black got a chance. That's what we do. We keep putting our hope in something and just, we just got to put our hope in it. We just got to believe. And then when it lets us down, then we're done with black people forever. And that is what we've got to stop doing. You don't have to put your trust in something that you don't feel right about, or that you kind of, if you do a little due diligence and use your brain, that you can't figure out, so somebody can't dupe you. Because a lot of these people do play on our need and our want to trust and to be have leaders that we can believe in. And because we've been let down so many times over and over and over, people play on it. They play on your vulnerability to get their cash, and then they move on. Well, that's where you have to use your common damn sense. And you have to understand what is going on. Like I said, with those two, if I don't see a business plan, if I can't, it's like any investment. You need to know what your return on investment is going to be, your ROI. Look at that. And if somebody can't give that to you and it's still some pie in the sky, bull, then you don't have to put your trust in nothing like that. And then once again, let's reel it back. Why do we need to feel that? Like, of course, you should want to support your own people. You should want to trust. But when it goes overboard, when it's too much, then, like I said, reel it back some and understand the feelings. You could have had a mother that you did not trust. Okay, so then therefore you take that and you try to put that trust in a man somewhere or a woman somewhere, because it's a missing piece in there. So you're looking for it in somebody else, and then when it's not there, you're devastated. You're devastated because you really tried, because you had never experienced it before from your own family, your mom, your dad, anybody else in your family, whatever. And like I said, when you were putting the fun in dysfunction, then it's time to step back, and you've got to realize where your deficits are, or what are the things that have motivated you to act in a certain way, to do the things that you do. And see, that's where the therapy comes in. And like I said, you got to be careful to make sure you get a good black therapist that can understand truly our experience. And because they're black, hopefully they've had some similar experiences and will be able to relate to you. Because there are even some black folks you can't even get therapy from, because they still on some Freudian bullshit somewhere that, you know, they got issues too. That's why I said it's good to get a therapist that has a therapist. Okay, so you can even, they can see their own stuff before they try to help you. Okay, and you know, I think I'm gonna cut it with this. I'm gonna just take a different behavior and apply it to our situation so we can truly start understanding. So like I said, today's symptom that we're gonna deal, that we've already dealt with, is our lack of trust. Lack of trust. Sometimes we don't even trust ourselves. You have to learn to get the confidence to understand who you are as a person, to trust yourself. Then you can trust other folks. But when you really get it together where you trust yourself, you see stuff coming. Ain't nobody gonna be able to run no game. Game recognized game, right? So if you are confident enough and have dealt with your stuff, and you trust yourself, you trust your brain and your intuition and your feelings, then you can trust somebody else better, as well as recognize when the hell you're not supposed to trust, because everybody ain't ready. You know, as a young little revolutionary with me, you know, I want to bring everybody. You know, power to the people. Well, I'm still about power to the people, but baby, there are some folks that you shouldn't even be in your presence because they low down and they're no good. And you have to learn to get the discernment to see that. So if everybody can't go, it's okay. It's okay, because then you're not wasting a lot of time on a bunch of nonsense that's not going to get you anywhere. Okay? That's what my old age has taught me. So that is it for this week's Hump Day healing. And I'm talking all about healing. That's what I'm going to be doing for the next few weeks to come. I'm just going to take as long as it's going to take for us to get through this, and give me your feedback. Thank you for checking this out. Come on back, leave me some comments, like, dislike, say whatever you feel, and let's keep moving forward, people, and let's heal. Until we heal, we're never going to unite and do what we got to do. But however, if we do heal, do you know how powerful we are? Can you just say the fact that we lived through this bullshit over here, the fact that we still here, the fact that we still creating, we're still making things happen. Imagine, people, just imagine how powerful we would be if we were all totally sound in mind and body. All right, so I thank you guys, and I'll see you next week.